The unfortunate thing is, in this world, companies found trends and they jumped on the bandwagon to sell supplements. They didn't care. They just go to a contract manufacturer. They take every shortcut as long as they can say that this is in the bottle. Then they're happy because they're making big profit margins on it. And that is because people love money more than they love people. One of the most popular supplements out there is in the form of a calcium supplement. People think they need to take a calcium supplement to have good quality bone health. Well, the studies have shown that the more calcium supplements you take, the more damaging it is to your system because your osteoblasts do not function at that level. You're getting plenty of calcium in the food you're eating. The problem is the calcium is not going into the bones, into the teeth, into the jaws, right, into the body where it's supposed to go. And that calcium will end up building up in your arterial system, building up in your muscles, causing all kinds of problems. That ties into magnesium deficiency. When you bring your magnesium levels up, that marries up with the calcium and brings a proper balance. But one of the most important things that you need to find out about today is vitamin D3 and K2 combined. So if you look up perfect K2 D3, that is the exact amount of vitamin D3 you require, which releases the calcium from the food so you have access to it. And the K2 MK7 in the perfect K2 D3 directs the calcium exactly where it's supposed to go, into the bones. So that will reverse osteoporosis. It will reverse all those problems that you're normally having with getting over-calcified in the wrong parts of your body. So I do not recommend calcium supplements at all. You're getting plenty enough through your food. Just make sure you balance it out with the magnesium through the skin, which is in the form of E's, and the perfect K2 D3, and that will solve that problem completely. The world we live in has now tens of thousands of companies producing hundreds of thousands of different supplements, and these are called natural products. The unfortunate thing is the vast majority of supplements are either synthetic, produced incorrectly, taken every shortcut to get the cost to as low as possible at your expense. So we are in the industry of natural product manufacturing. And in our research, we found out that all those shortcuts are more common than not. So we made sure that in our research, we found the raw materials that are, first of all, they're not damaged by heat. There's so much damage that happens in processing if you're not processing right. The packaging is not done properly. So you have to make sure that you have high quality packaging and that the company is highly conscious in thinking about you, not thinking about themselves. So Activation Product, we founded that 17 years ago. And my goal was to have the absolute highest quality for me that I knew every single step. Like there's 15 steps from raw material to an actual value-added product put into a package that is sold to a person who is counting on that to be a great investment in themselves. Because you're investing in yourself every time you buy something. So make sure that the company has the integrity and they think about you, not themselves. One of the great principles I learned, and it took a long time to learn, was how to produce a high-value supplement that is the maximum value for people who are buying supplements. So our company was founded 17 years ago, and we very slowly went through the process of learning what it is, first of all, to have a safe product. It cannot do any harm at all, no matter what. Number two, it has to be highly effective. That means it has to be concentrated and undamaged. The unfortunate thing is, in this world, companies found trends and they jumped on the bandwagon to sell supplements. They didn't care. They just go to a contract manufacturer. They take every shortcut as long as they can say that this is in the bottle. Then they're happy because they're making big profit margins on it. And that is because people love money more than they love people. When you love people and use money to be able to serve people, that is the proper protocol. So having the knowledge around it, sharing the knowledge, and me being a founder of the company and providing the actual knowledge and sharing it directly with you is the key, because I had to learn all the truth about these things myself, because I knew what I wanted for me was to be the very best at the most affordable price without taking any shortcuts. And I have to want the same for you. Because if I want it for me, I have to want it for you, because we're here to serve you. And you're here to serve yourself as well. You're investing in yourself. So when you earn your money and you paid your taxes, you paid your expenses, you paid for your cost of life, and then you have your disposable income remaining, that is a precious resource to you. So it's very important that you discern who you're buying from, and you should see physical results. You're measuring it by your physical well-being. And how do I show up? I show up, I'm 65 years old, I'm healthier than I've ever been in my entire life because I learned the truth, how to support my body's ability to manage and heal itself. And I found out the exact raw materials you need. You do not want to be spending a lot of time, energy, effort, and money to be healthy. You want to spend the least amount possible without taking any shortcuts. And we learned how to provide that. The most important part is the knowledge of how your body operates and what it really needs and how to support your body. And then the products are complementary to that. So it's up to you how much you want to go and how much you want to learn about yourself. I think it's very important that each one of us learn how to support our bodies properly and not just take it for granted and do everything anybody tells us to do. You know, you get to the point where you tell yourself what to do because you have that level of knowledge. Over the last 40, 50 years, fish oil has been a big trend. And a lot of companies jumped on board to get fish oil. There are certain things you have to watch out for. There are very few fish oils in the market that I think are of value that you should invest in. Most of them are bleached and they go through all kinds of processes that eliminate the value of them. You know, people talk about omega-3, 6, and 9, and that's the big marketing ploy. Most fish oils are actually harmful for the human body. Some fish oils, the smaller the fish, the better, and the less mercury is going to be contaminated in it. You've got to make sure that it's number one, safe, and you can trust the company who's producing it. I tend more towards high therapeutic seed oils and or marine phytoplankton because you're going to get the essential fatty acids from the functional foundational food of the ocean, which is marine phytoplankton. That's where all the fish get their oil from. But when you have it in its phytosterol form, it's a much higher grade than if you have it in the form of the type of fats that are in fish oil. So you have different types of fish oils in the market. Just be very careful and be very selective. Like go to the smallest fish, like anchovy is really good. Krill is really good. There's different ones you can do, but just be careful with them. Because vitamin D trended so hard, thousands of companies jumped on board to make vitamin D, and they get it as cheap as humanly possible. Most of it comes from lanolin, which is from sheep's wool. The one that I prefer the most comes from a thing called lichen. Lichen is a plant-based vitamin D3, and it is the purest form. It is the most effective form when you take it in your system. The most important thing with vitamin D3 when you take it is you don't want to take huge volumes of it. Some people take like 50,000 IUs a day. That can actually cause heart problems. So you want to make sure you have a very high quality vitamin D3. And you can take 5,000 IUs a day, no problem. But you absolutely have to have it with K2MK7. K2MK7 is vitamin K. And that's a very specific form. The reason you have to have it with that is because when the vitamin D3 releases the calcium from the food you're eating to make it available to you, it will go into the wrong place unless it has a director. The K2MK7 directs the calcium to the right place. And a high quality vitamin D3 also seals up the body in between the cells. So it puts a shield in between your cells so it can't have microbial invasions. There's been massive studies on vitamin D3 where it showed all the extreme benefits of it. Just make sure you have the highest quality one. So the one that I love the most is called Perfect K2D3. Just look it up. Perfect K2D3, guaranteed to have the top quality in the world 100%.